OG. Back on the screen. I gotta put on my sheriff's hat. You guys must forget I'm also a 2K dev as well. Here is the video that Czar. I'm gonna be professional on this one because I want this message to get across without people thinking I'm angry or something. You know, some people could think that from some of my videos just because you know. I've been preaching on Twitter that the Clamps badge has been broken this year. When I mean broken, it doesn't mean it doesn't entirely work. It doesn't mean that it's broken. Is just isn't that like bold to say that? You know what I mean? You can still get it to activate. You can still feel how clamps can activate. I got it. I get it to activate. I clamp players up because I get myself in the lane and get myself in the right position. But there is still certain aspects to where Clamp Breaker can be cheesy and OP and be abused, meaning you just need to tone the badge down so things can't be abused to where players have to balance out their playstyle. If you balance and tone out things to where at least a player has to have it on a Hall of Fame range, but even gold works for players, even silver works. It just depends on your ball control. I've realized playing 2K over time, the ball control, how players make their ball control go high, they'll get the unpluckable because it stacks on top of the unpluckable. That's a stack badge. Clamp Breaker is an unpluckable, like it's 2 and 2. It works together. Come on now. So that makes it even more powerful and OP because you have the ability to slide off players even if it's just left stick animation, or you figure out how to cheese and use the Russell Westbrook and many other ways that people utilize that badge and how it activates even in the comp setting level. Let's get into this.
Excuse me, discuss the matters of the day. Excuse me. But, alright, so this is not so much, you know, question and answer. Sometimes I will answer a few questions here and there. Sometimes when we do this, I'm really just looking for feedback from the chat, whoever happens to be here live. But today, I anticipate, again, I'm not tied in with marketing at all. I don't know what they're doing, but I would anticipate soon that they're going to have something else dropping sometime this week. So I wanted to talk about the body ups just a little bit. I know that was in the blog. You know, it's not the... All right, so one of the changes that we want to make with the body ups is looking at today's NBA game. You know, this is not the 90s, you know, it's not the 80s, 90s where you could really hand check and box somebody up more so in a one-on-one defensive situation, right? And so what we wanted to do was look at how the body ups function. And what we found is that a lot of our users use the body ups as a crutch, right? The badge their players up or whatever, or if you're playing 5-on-5 with the NBA players, find somebody who's got good badges, and then you'll just constantly run into the offensive player and wait for the body up to happen, right? And today's NBA game is not about aggressive defenders, right? Because you don't have that hand check as a weapon. Really, it's about playing position. And today's game.
So, water. So, I kept it quiet for a minute. I kept it quiet for a minute. This is an older game, but I want to show something of what he's talking about with his body ups and what he's saying with the crutch and things like that. Nobody realistically sits and says, oh, run into the players, that's how you get clamp animations to activate. No, you still had to slide and move and anticipate what spot he's going to go at. And sometimes people had enough stick skill to get past you. But for the casual player, for someone who is really doesn't have the time to put hours in and the time to spend so much time and invest into the game to learn the ins and out, because this controller is complex. We're not going to act like this is not technology and complex technology still. This is why you have players who still can't learn how to do certain things, certain players who still don't know how to momentum dribble, certain little aspects of the game that's been in the game for years. Now, knowing that, nope, you can't say that. I've even played against noobs when clamps was at the best and the height of the heightest or whatever. They still couldn't utilize the clamp badge to lock me up, even if it was a lockdown. Lockdown still... Howdy hat dropping off. Lockdown still had levels to lockdowns, to where certain lockdowns was better than others. Even still, you had players who was skilled enough to dribble on lockdowns, and the game still allowed that, even if it was a pair lock who could get lock take and get a crazy pluck steal. They just need to probably balance the steal rate of how the steals fluctuate and added more body ups to the game, make some weaker body ups, stronger ones, weaker ones, depending on strength, depending on if you want to add perimeter there and say, okay, if he has high perimeter, he should get better body ups, because he probably can get a body up to where in natural real life NBA, sometimes players do body up from the side or come close if a dribbler makes that contact, and that alone is a sequence itself to where, okay, the player that's doing the body up is going to get contact, so he gets tired. It's just like when you're playing outside and the old head is backing you down. It's that same complex. We're not going to act like running up the court and dribbling it already is not taking stamina down, but howdy hat keep dropping. We're not going to act like running up and dribbling is not taking stamina out realistically. But I get it, we're on a video game. See how I'm still in that understanding with y'all? We're on a video game, so we have to add some sci-fi to it, basically. Things that's not really realistic. Is you're in the video game now. Add some numbers to it, because that's what we're really playing on, a number system, right? That's how the stamina bar was working, on a number system. So we know that. So that's understand, all right? Y'all get that point of what I'm trying to say? Y'all get that point, right? Body ups could play out in so many ways. In this game, they don't play out in different unique ways. It's not that much. Hopefully in 24 it does. Let's watch this. So in this gameplay y'all watching here, I'm in the stage against competitive players, and this is a defensive tutorial. I have been doing this. I have recently got Xbox because it was the only console I can get. Sorry, I'm not rich. It's the only console I can get, right? I'm not moneyed up like, oh, let me just go buy this console real quick. And it was at the time when COVID was happening and everything was getting sold out. So at that time, hold on, let me pause this. At that time, right? At that time, listen, at that time, Xbox was the only console I could get. So 24 for 23, I have content where I go on the stage and stuff, but it's not like how I had it within the previous years because I got separated from my crew. This could happen to many of people. A lot of people current gen, it was a big separation. Now it's going to be cross-play, so it's probably going to bring more people to the next gen consoles, which is good. I'll have more people, more opportunities to go in and play with the team where we're all like-minded and give these type of tutorials again. But I've been doing this tutorials in the stage against the cheese, showing players you can play within an IRL realistic play style and still win against these guys. You just have to learn how to guard their cheese, so you have to learn their game. It's like learning what they do. It's learning how they should do the pattern. I go and watch tutorials how, oh, Steezel and them do these moves, and I see how, okay, they flick it there, and at that time, usually they either do that pattern or that pattern. It'd only be about 4 patterns. I used to count the patterns they do. I reacted to Dribble Gods. You guys seen it on my channel. I do that for a reason as well. I can react to them. Oh, look at their patterns and be like, oh, that's nice how they doing their patterns. Then I can study it for myself, so whenever they play me, I know how to lock it up. It's many. My bag is deep. We're not gonna go there. It's deep though. Everything, a lot of stuff I do, it has a lot of meaning to it. Now we in the stage. I want you guys to watch how my boy NJTV, he's on PS5. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to lock back in with him. Look at the defense I'm playing. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to lock back in with him. And I mean, I said hopefully, we are. I meant to be hyped to say yes, we are, because it's crossplay. He's guarding the PG. You see a difference in this gameplay? All comp stage players was playing like this. Still had to use screens. Some could ISO if they wanted to, but it was beneficial using that brick wall screen and them cheesing behind the screen, because the defense was still balanced enough so where if you didn't beat him on an ISO, you still would get, you would get clamped. You see the difference? This year is all ISO. 100% complete ISO because it's more beneficial. Any player that's realistic to the comp setting, noob setting, casual setting, whatever you are, you could understand that. It's more beneficial to ISO. People say space it out. Look at this. He had trouble guarding him. You see how he was stuck? He had trouble guarding him. Green. That, he just got beat right there. I'm on a small forward Kevin Durant build. This is not even a pair lock that I'm on. And people would tell me to switch and let me guard the main guy. Switch it, OG. Switch it, OG. I'm like, all right, I'll switch. I got you. Let me speed up here because I want to get back to Czar. They get a bucket on him, and you see where I'm at? I'm pressing. One reason why did I press and they make it seem like this is bad. Of course, if you have a pair lock, just add some small changes to it. You don't have to completely, entirely think that, oh, players is just running into players. I press because it instantly puts pressure. When I used to play IRL basketball in a regulation team, what they used to do for players that were shaky on dribbling, or players that couldn't come up the court within a certain control to throw you off, or to be skillful to move you or get you out the way, you run traps, full court press early in the game. They'll run it the whole game. High school, yeah, they don't do it in the NBA and stuff because there's differences, but when you get up in the league, but they do it. Full court press, and you have to learn how to pass through it, all that. Players could have passed in at this point in time. Players chose to want to come up because the PG is the most valuable in the game, to come up and do his combos and get open and get free. So this is why you don't see players pass up the court, run a little motion, pass up the court without dribbling. I understand all that. People think I'm out of the loop. It's crazy. OG's guarding now. Now look, what did I always used to tell people? It's these rules still apply in the game now. The big man is his his chess piece, right? The big man is his chess piece. Even if somebody was setting the screen now, which you really won't see too much, is just ISO, yeah. But the big man is his chess piece. It's probably gonna go back to something like this a little bit. You still gonna see ISO, but the big man is his chess piece, right? So you have to utilize your footwork basically in the game to bait the big man to think you're going to run into the screen, but you really don't. You get him out of position and you drop back. You see how I'm dropping back already? I pre-did that on my analog stick. You have to pre-do things sometimes on 2K because of it may feel delayed to you or whatever case is, but once you get used to it, you'll realize, oh, you got to pre-do that before that animation gets to that point. You got to do it at this second, right? And you see how I already have my body turned? He only can go this way. He can't do another spin. Once you start to see the picture on screen, you know what animations is given, what animations is not. I come up again high. I have the help over there. You're always supposed to have help because this is a team game. The screen already is going to block your position in a little bit, so you have to have that help there. You see how I just recovered back easily to that help? Get the help right there. I used to just tell somebody, help right there. I'm going to run through the screen. Boom. You see how my clamps activate? Do you see somebody just running into the body, or do you see me moving with him? Do you see me sliding my feet? Do you see me sliding my feet enough to where he wastes enough dribble moves? And they used to have it in this game where if you dribble too much and then you shot and you was tired, you see what happens? 24% coverage, slightly early. Now he got the slightly early timing because his jump shot felt slow after wasting so much stamina doing all these dribble moves. What was wrong with this? What are they talking about? Running into bodies. What were they talking about? What was wrong with this defense here? I got bumped, but I got the help there, so he didn't want to shoot the peak. Don't make no excuses for him. Oh, he was open. No, it's certain things that's running through a person's mind. And I know as long as a person's there in that position, I used to have monsters with me. I would have meta people. So I'm telling you, I'm coming for people next year. I'm coming. And I used to understand that mechanic and science to the game. Oh, if I make him waste enough time by being in certain positionings and me knowing to cover this because he wants to shoot this comfortable peak here, oh yeah, I'm good to go. So I'm gonna have my guys learning the same thing. Master OG is back. People got too crazy over that what's it called? That 23. It's making people go crazy. Let's go back though. Let's go back. It's time to go in. It's time to go in. This is a movie. Where is it? I was just doing it. Alright, we're gonna go back here. This is a movie. Where is it at? I've been going crazy on Twitter. I ain't gonna lie to you because people making it seem like I don't know the game. It's like, come on now. Come on now. You think you gotta be a dev to know just something? Like something? We all people. You had to learn this. Other people learn different ways.
Today's game has more of a flow to it in terms of players driving to the basket. You really can't keep anybody out the paint because you can't lay a hand on them, right? And so we wanted to create more of a flow with our body up system. So
I stop it right there because I have to go in now. Do you hear that already? So he based this new game, because they just added this new engine with this foot planning technology. The foot planning technology is what makes it slide right now. Wow. Somebody said on Twitter the game feels like NHL. Why does it feel like NHL on defense, but on offense you feel a little way more smoother and you could have more control? It don't make no sense. There's no balance to it. It has to have a balance like that. It doesn't matter how the body ups and how the NBA is today. You know what I mean? Players still can recover way better. I can go in deep detail and show NBA clips how certain players can recover way better regardless of if a player goes into the paint. There's still other players. Sometimes you want a player to go into the paint. You know, yeah, there's restriction zones, but if you got good help defender there, you got a Brook Lopez there, a shot blocker, you want to throw him into the big man. You know, you just play him enough to his weak side, throw him into. It's so many details we could go into and ramble on about there. So that's already defeated. So y'all just base this game model of thinking, well, you can't keep nobody out the paint, so we should just make the game like that. And you still could get to the paint in the other 2Ks. People just want the 3 because it's more valuable. You can end the game quicker. It's like you beat people worse when you just shoot 3s. Like, that's just Steph Curry did that. You blame Steph Curry, Czar. What? Like, what? What was that? Because all it did was make people be able to cheese the paint and then really come out and shoot with all the walkbacks and extra stuff that y'all didn't tune and touch. Hold up. No. Let's go.
So, in the past, as you can see, number 5 here, Paxson, right? In the past, we had a very wide window to be considered driving right at the defense. So it really rewarded everybody on defense to just stay as close to the dribbler as you possibly could, right? Because you're going to get a body up and it's going to save you in most instances. And a lot of people think, well, hey man, that's great defense. I'm locking you up. Really, the body up is doing most of the work. And what we found is that the angle that we had here was super wide for the offensive player to be considered driving directly into the defense. And so what we did this year, if you can imagine.
This is a movie. So, for every action, you get a reaction. Remember this gem. Remember this, Elzar, this gem. For every action, you get a reaction. So, if you guys felt the body up window was too wide, basically the body up window, right? I come back here real quick and show you his thing. Hopefully you guys can see my cursor on the screen. He's basically saying, let's say the body up window is from this point, right, to this point. That's how it used to be. They closed it up a bit more. So for every reaction has an action, right? No, for every action has a reaction. So if you felt that was doing most of the work, now you have to go into a deeper hole and realize how Clamp Breaker is doing most of the work for players just running into people and dribbling and not really doing moves and just utilizing the left stick to get out of it. I used to make videos on how the left stick is actually OP if you're comp and you learn how to use it. What is the walk back? A left stick move. Bah, 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 bah. Yeah, the hat had to come off. This is a movie. I'm telling you, I'm the one who's ready and prepared to speak the dialogue with the devs. This is a movie. That activates on itself. That's an auto badge. There's no form of skill to it but adding the attributes and putting the badge on. That's like clamps. Basically. Let's see if they even keep that badge. Everybody hounding me down for it. Let's even see. Hold on now. Y'all know they scrap things and do certain things. Body ups have always been in 2K. That has always been there. Certain slashers, certain builds used to have it. A bigger build, if you came in contact with a smaller build, you'll see they'll get past them a slasher. That always been in the game. It was a certain, they just had it set at a certain rate, but then they changed it up and made Clamp Breaker and all that. What's this, Zar? I mean, yeah, Zar. What's this? And some people will say he wasn't playing defense. That's the whole point. There's foot planting technology, so the way you can even move to a player doing this, it makes you slide. Even if he slides over, he can do that move and it's going to make them slide through because Clamp Breaker is implemented with this, even unpluckable. And then ball control. That's 3 things I named. This is a computer generated system game, people. Look at this. Boom. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Because I slowed it down on Twitter. Hold on. I slowed it down on Twitter. Yeah, here it go. Oh, man, I went too far. Watch this. And then people would just utilize the escapes because they know this new body up window that you talked about. And they realize, oh, clamps is not really effective no more. And you can just run into somebody like that. All right, we're going to do this now. For every action, you get a reaction. Look, he bounced the ball off his foot. Watch this. He going to hit it off his knee, too. Here we go. Right here, I think. No, where is it at? Oh, yeah, I think when he does it again. Look, back up. Oh, shit, it's not working. Let me go back. Look at this. Look. Bounce it off his knee. What is this? Russell Westbrook again. And people put their hands up because the dunking is already OP. So when you put your hands up at times, you'll get a better contest. And now this is a player that's good right here. That just got dunked on. But when you put your hands up, it will give you a better contest, right? You'll get a better contest to block the shot, the dunk, because that's what we really try to stop. We're really not worried about somebody taking a mid-range, which Zar doesn't understand. Somebody doesn't take mid-ranges right here. They're not doing that 9 times out of 10. Somebody's going straight to the rack and taking that dunk or layup, whatever it is, if they're sliding off of you. That's what they're going to do based off of that. That's what they're going to do. And every player that slides off or gets to the paint doesn't go up all the time. It's not like they're about to go up 24/7 all the time. Look at this. That's all players have to do.
Imagine 45 degrees on this side and 45 degrees on that side, right?
Damn, that's really
maybe
what I
even
said
out
too.
to 50 degrees. If you pointed your stick in any of those directions, you were considered running into the defense, which means that the body ups were overpowered, right? So what we did was we narrowed that window, all right? And the size of the window can change, so I'm not going to give you an exact number, but it's much smaller than what it used to be. And so what that means is as an offensive player, if I give you a little move left, right, left, correct, and then I shoot off right over here, that's no longer considered pointing my stick directly at you. Whereas in the past, it was. So you were guaranteed to get a body up there if you were just in decent position and you have decent ratings and you got decent reaction skills. Well, this year, that's not going to be the case.
What's decent? You see what I'm saying? What's decent? Because there's always noobs in the game. Who is he talking about? It's always noobs in the game. You see what I mean? Like, it doesn't make no sense. He's not even showing certain examples of comp games or certain settings where it's OP. It's no detail. It's just them saying that based off of what? Facts. What factual evidence? This is what I mean. The devs leave out stuff. What factual evidence are you bringing to the table to show that? Yeah, there's some instances where a lock just lock up a noob because, man, that right stick got to get better. The right stick is hard to learn once you start playing this game. That's just the truth of it. Honest people would just come out and say that, and then once you be honest with yourself, you just get better. Once again, this is not a shot to the devs, but Czar can't dribble. He can't do moves with this stick and chain them in combos. So what does that tell you? A computer is the one that created a lot of this stuff, because none of the devs can dribble. I always say this. You can't, and dribbling doesn't always mean they gotta dribble like Steezos and them. You can't even see them do IRL combos like, oh, just go crazy. Like, dang, he got control of that. Like, dang, he knows how to do that and chain that together and at the right time. And even it looks so realistic, you don't see that. So that's one of my points as well.
All right. And then when you add on top of that the defensive shading, yes, you get a bonus if I ran directly into your chest, right? But that window area is smaller now. So as a defender, if you want to do block that front lane and get the bonus that comes with being in the shaded position, in the position where the offensive player is moving or trying to drive, right? Your ability to use the left stick and to use your defensive skills to stay in that spot, it's really going to be tested. Because if I, as number 5, now point my stick right over here, right, and I use one of my adrenaline bars, you're going to get beat. So that's the thing. You have, hopefully, how this works. You know, as a dev, you put things in and you have certain intentions, but the implementation or how people use that may turn out to be different, especially.
Y'all heard what he just said? This shit is too easy for me. I'm sorry. And like I said, don't come at me in the same way of like, oh, I'm trying to get on 2K TV or get a logo. I just enjoy playing the game and making content, and I already give the devs and stuff props for making the game. So I'm not in that same seat of, oh, I'm just being me. That's it. I'm just being me. And there ain't no hard feelings. He said he hopes, cause certain things.
Now point my stick right over here, but the implementation or how people use that, then you have certain intentions. So that's the thing. You have, hopefully, how this works. You know, as a dev, you put things in and you have certain intentions, but the implementation or how people use that may turn out to be different, especially.
You put things in. You heard what he's saying? And how people use them. There's no way he could come out and say that he doesn't feel like it's a little bit OP. There's no way after seeing the gameplay. It's like you can make these critical thinking choices for yourself and realize what things would be changed next year. I've been saying this for y'all. I've been saying this, and real people know I've been saying, yo, the quick drops with the thing is going to get changed. I've been telling people this since before Mike Wayne even posted that picture. Comment down if I've been saying that. Like, somebody, like, please vouch for me. Like, I've been saying that, and Mike Wayne posted it, and it's gone. Like, he posted it, and it's gone. It's gone. It's getting nerfed. Whatever the case is, either one is good. If it gets nerfed or it's gone, either one is great. But I've been saying that's going to get touched, and I made my own observation of just playing the game. Come on now.
In a competitive environment. But the intention was, if you're playing real basketball and you're out here at 35, 40 feet, right? As a defender, this is dangerous area for you. In our game, it wasn't dangerous at all. Because the closer you got, the more body ups you got, right? And as an offensive player, in order to beat...
No, it's not, Czar. No, it's not. It depends who you are. There are certain defenders There's some days you got Curry, Dellavedova locks him up. It depends who you are, what mentality you have. It should be a balance. You're really basically telling people that defense was OP. You said it. You used the word OP. And that was not the case. Offense has always and forever will be OP. Dribbling isn't tied into offense. That's a part of basketball. That's like, that's like you, oh my. That's like you not having a head. It's part of basketball. You have to be able to dribble, even in real life, a certain way. You have to know how to pick the ball up from your dribble to put it in your shooting form to shoot. But you can't implement that in a game. That's enough. That there's no way that comes in unless we put on the virtuality helmets and there's no way. There's no way that goes like that. But I know from playing in real experience, like, damn, to get a faster shot off, you have to know how to dribble to be able to boom, boom, bring it up real quick. Or just to get yourself on a certain angle or positioning. Dribbling is key. This is crazy. Some players got faster twitches, more lateral quickness than another person. You're basically, you saying you took that out and just said this zone is dangerous. And that's not the case for every player realistically. Some players are better defenders to know how to say, okay, I'm going to throw him into my other guy who's good at help D. So I'm going to lead him this way and I'm going to bait him this way. LeBron James bait all the time, sometimes leave players wide open and do certain things. It's not the case. Some 2K players, when they get on the games and they're shooting, they're not always hot every day. They could be having some other stuff on their mind, or their thumbs not that sharp today, or their energy low, so they're not really focused. So stop acting like there's not natural existing things to the game. Everybody wasn't a clamp defender can go and just clamp somebody. Especially when it gets to the stage level. No way. That's crazy.
Eat that. You had to like damn near point your stick to the baseline. To the sidelines to get out of that. But now that's much tighter.
And then it's like, these dudes, a lot of the Sim Nation guys, and then a lot of the devs, well, I see Czar saying a lot. You're saying it's OP, but you couldn't get on a lockdown and go guard one of the comp stage guys back then in any other games where clamps was good. You couldn't do that. So that has to show that there's some form of skill gap or some form of balance there. It makes no sense. It's not just you had to run into players. Sometimes you had to cut a player off. Sometimes there's differences within the staminas. Whoever made the most movements. Because sometimes you racing all your stamina running this way because you're thinking that he's going to go that way, but he did a little hezzy that threw you off. What? All that was there. What are they talking about? They must have just played on secret accounts, and the lockdowns must have really just clamped them, and they must have felt like, nah, it should be more that we could do. But no, you had to learn how to use your right stick. And when you watch him play, he has videos of him playing. You see that he has no good right stick skill. This is just the honest truth. None of the devs have good right stick skill. Ronnie, LD, none of them. So what does that tell you? A computer generated most of these moves. Meaning they didn't make the move from scratch by doing it themselves on the analog stick. No, a computer generated it, and then, okay, this, that controls here, that controls there, that controls there. But to do it in a combo, that's natural human. That's like you doing suicides or doing the ladder drills in real life basketball. Like you doing the ladder drills. Certain players got that just better coordination to move their feet in and out and take those steps in. That's like, I did all this. See, they speaking to a person who's knowledgeable. People be speaking to a person who's knowledgeable. It's differences, man. We gonna stop it here. I'm gonna get into more of this video because I know this is already super long. But I hope people watched the full thing and got a lot of the gems. I'm gonna come back to this point. It's like at 12:01, and I'm gonna touch up more on it because it's just more like things that I could just have a counteractive to. I already said it. He has to have research of clips that they saw, studies, and they put there. That's just the proper way. But I made too many valid points in here, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I'll see y'all in the next one. NBA 2K24 defense. I know it probably got a buff regardless of what they saying now in this game. For sure.